Tonight on News 5 Live, government intends to spend north of $2 million on the upcoming cannabis referendum. A memorial for laddie Gillett is held in Placencia, 1 year after he was shot and killed by a police officer. And Jasmine Hartin pleads not guilty in indictment hearing. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Make your summer better. Over $35,000 in cash and prizes with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Here's how you can enter for a chance to win. Purchase any device, sign up for a smart postpaid, broadband, or VoIP plan, use $50 or more regular prepaid credit, do a SIM swap, or text to the short code. You win 8946. And in the body of the message, enter the number of entries you would like to purchase. Each entry costs only 50 cents.
Don't waste any time. You can be the winner of weekly prizes starting July 1st. All methods give you more chances to win. Airline tickets, overnight stays at numerous resorts, cash prizes, gift certificates, and much, much more. One lucky person will win the grand prize of a $10,000 shopping spree courtesy Court and Smart.
Promotion ends September 16, 2022. So make your summer better by getting in the race to win with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Smart, bringing people together.
Ouch.
I tell you no move.
Man, you really can't get a mannequin for this, man? Really?
Well, son, if I never lend you the $2,000 to buy the kids' computer and the book, I may have the money for buy my mannequin.
It's definitely better to borrow from the bank than from your friends or relatives. This way, all you owe is money.
Would you like me to turn around?
That would be good. Turn on.
Take advantage of the back-to-school promotion currently being offered by the Belize Bank.
This no right. Garbage in the streets, creating dump sites, throwing a trash on the highway. We not fit do that. Only we could stop this. Each of we play an important part in protecting our beautiful country. This that we believe. Respect it, cherish it, love it.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank. Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, July 14th. I am Sabrina Daly. Cabinet met for the first time on Tuesday since Prime Minister John Briceño returned from an extended trip overseas, where he attended high-level meetings in more than a few countries, including Brussels and Suriname. The head of government arrived in Belize this past weekend and on July 12th met with senior government officials to discuss a range of issues, including the upcoming cannabis referendum. That discussion, as we came to learn from Cabinet Secretary Stuart Leslie this this morning touched on matters relevant to the pending national vote, such as the budget that will be allotted for the exercise. When the House of Representatives meets on Friday, it is expected that PM Briceño will introduce a supplementary for approximately $2.8 million to be used to cover expenses associated with the referendum. According to the CABSEC, Minister of Constitutional Reform Henry Charles Usher put forward the outcome of the vetting process that was conducted by the Elections and Boundaries Department, following a countrywide campaign by the religious community to garner the requisite number of signatures needed to trigger the referendum.
He presented the results that the Chief Elections Officer did of the vetting of all the signatures for the petition to trigger a referendum, and he reported to Cabinet yesterday that the churches had met the 10% threshold, and so it is now for the Governor General to sign the writ of a referendum, and the Governor General has 30 days from receipt of the petition, of the verification from the Chief Elections Officer, and then from there we have another 30 days for government to trigger the referendum. So we're talking about a 60-day process. But right now, the Chief Elections Officer has verified, yes, 10% of the population, which is enough to trigger a referendum, and so forward we go in the process.
As far as you are aware, has there been any discussion among Cabinet colleagues or the ministries, the respective ministries, to look at a budget for this particular exercise?
Yes, in fact, tomorrow supplementary will be going up in Parliament, and Prime Minister will speak, of course, more to that. But I think the budget will include the cost of the referendum. I think it's going to be somewhere between $2 and $5 million with the cost of the referendum and the cost of making sure that there's a public awareness campaign and so on in terms of how to vote and what to do and so on. So that is heading up to Parliament tomorrow.
Today's cabinet brief also focused on education and what government is doing to increase the age of compulsory education from 14 to 16, taking into consideration that while the change will lead to other legislative and policy adjustments, it is a step in the right direction in preparing Belizean students for life.
It's in its initial stage, yes. Minister Fonseca yesterday presented after broad consultations with people and stakeholders in the education sector and so on, and looking at, again, this whole of government approach, guys. We have kids out here who are 14 years old who have been kicked out of school and not in school and out in the streets and so on, and they're being lured by gangs and getting into things that they shouldn't be getting into at that age in their life, or in their lives, sorry. So the idea of this is for us to do something that is in line with the rights, the human rights of the child, Isani, but to bring young people and bring these, they say you cannot leave school until you're 16 years old. It is at the beginning stage because, you know, it's going to cost some money. It's going to be, Minister Fonseca is estimating maybe, as we look at the expansion of this program, we're talking about 10,000 more young people in school across the country for an additional 2 years. So all that has to be worked out, and they're working at it over time. But thank you for that question, because it's an exciting thing, and I hope that everybody will join in supporting this initiative to move the age for you to leave school in country from 14 to 16.
Also discussed in Cabinet was the Belize National Curriculum Framework 2022, developed by the Ministry of Education. After months of consultation and focused effort by education stakeholders, the ministry plans to implement the new curriculum come next month when the new school year commences. The idea is basically to remove the fluff from the education system and put in place a curriculum which focuses on building competency in students from pre-primary through to secondary levels. Minister of Education Francis Fonseca says that it is to teach youth in subject areas that will help with the economic development of the country.
Moving away from a sort of time-based curriculum to a competency-based curriculum, more targeted learning outcomes, reducing the amount of learning outcomes, putting together learning lesson plans that can be used by teachers and schools across the country. So a complete, I think, again, revolutionary transformation of our curriculum. In Belize, as I've said many times, you know, we are a small developing nation. We have to be teaching our students what matters, what is relevant to the economic development of Belize, what is relevant to the national development of Belize, and our students need to be learning what is important, what matters to them, what can provide them with the skills, the knowledge, the information, the values, the attitudes they need to be successful, productive citizens of this country. That is what our curriculum has to be laser focused on. So we can't be all over the place as we are now, scattered all over the place. We have to be strategically focused, and that is the kind of transformation we are doing with the curriculum.
Are teachers ready for the changes coming to the curriculum? Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Education, Diane Mejia, says that beginning this summer, there will be capacity building programs for teachers across all levels to ensure that they not only have tools, but the know-how to build the competencies of the students under the new curriculum regime.
Our August CPD cycle, August is traditionally the time for teacher training, and our August CPD cycle is heavily geared toward competency-based training. And actually, we have a year-long schedule of competency-based training for teachers at all levels, so that you're, as a teacher, you will be exposed to these different methods. You're going to get support in how to do this. And for some teachers, I think what they'll find is that it comes naturally because they've been doing it anyway. Maybe they never put this tag on it, but it's been happening. But for all teachers, we are going to ensure that at one point or the other, in many cases, in multiple points, they're going to be exposed. The Teacher Learning Institute is a great help in this initiative, because with the TLI, we are able to really, for the first time since August 2021, we are able to have truly continuous professional development for teachers year-round. And so we are making full use of that again come August. Actually, this August, it's a much more full offering than we had last August, because now we have face-to-face teaching, we have virtual offerings. Teachers can sign up for such a wide range of topics, but you will get more information on that very soon.
The Belize National Curriculum Framework 2022 will be officially unveiled in the next few weeks. Coming up, Jasmine Hartin goes to court once again. Details when we return.
Take a stand. Recycle what you can. Step 1. Rinse recyclable containers to remove all residue. Step 2. Remove all labels. Be careful. Step 3. Place all recyclable containers into the bag provided by the project team. Plastic containers, tin cans, and glass containers are acceptable. Step 4. Take the bag with recyclables out for collection. Step 5. Place bags with recyclables in an easily accessible area for collection. This initiative is being implemented in selected communities by the Belize Solid Waste Management Authority through the Inter-American Development Bank, with funding from the Japan Quality Infrastructure Initiative under the Japan Special Fund.
As a parent, raising a family has its challenges.
How many times have I told you not to play ball in the house?
But growing up in a family has its challenges too.
I can't take this no more.
Let me share a little bit about what mine was like with you.
Uncle, where do you get your information from?
Right up on Facebook, you show me.
Guess what? Lisa got her period.
But don't get me wrong, we had fun too. I can't wait to share more about For We Family.
Who are offers the best home internet experience? The truth is, Digi, of course. Diginet has the largest fiber network and the fastest speeds with the most reliable service. That's more learning, more earning, more gaming, more bonding, more sharing, getting more things done. And now, Diginet is even more affordable with the new entry plan, a 20 megabits per second fiber connection for just $49 monthly, and increased speeds in all plans. The truth is, only Digi has the ultimate home internet experience, with savings up to $270 when you bundle. Wireless and cable can't give you that. So what are you waiting for? Sign up or make the switch to Diginet today to enjoy more speeds to get more done. Digi, our national telecom.
Vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to Smart Code 5885. Here are this week's contestants.
He's crazy for believing that I'll never leave the ground. I'm staying with you, laughing like children, living like lovers.
Into the unknown, into the unknown.
And focus on things that are gonna make us laugh. Take me as I am.
I'm unstoppable. I'm a pusher with no brakes. I'm invincible.
Those chills that I knew, they were nothing without you.
Thinking out loud that maybe we found love right where we are.
Round and around and around and around we go. No, yo te amo. Yo te amo sobre todas las cosas del mundo.
Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home.
Call me, take me deeper than my feet could ever wander.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday live only on 5.
Today, Jasmine Hartin walked up the stairs of the Supreme Court for an indictment hearing before Justice Ricardo Sancroft. The hearing was in reference to the manslaughter by negligence charge on the Canadian national for the shooting death of Superintendent Henry Jamot, which occurred on May 28, 2021. During the proceedings this morning, Hartin pled not guilty to the charge. Here's an interview with her attorney, Dickie Bradley, about what transpired inside the court.
In regards to the allegation of manslaughter by negligence, for which Mr. Hartin pled not guilty to the judge. The Crown was represented by the Director of Public Prosecution, Mrs. Sylvain Bedal, and it was agreed in the court order that in September, case management conducted in this court. After that process, then that case would then be trained for a trial date to be agreed upon. His Lordship also Lordship, Justice Ricardo Sancroft, also made the observation that while there is legislation to say that manslaughter and other offenses are no longer required to be tried by a jury, that it is unclear that legislation does not speak to manslaughter by negligence, which is a separate offense from manslaughter. And so it's largely jury pool in Belize being the kind of country, the population is not very large in our country.
Basically everybody know everybody.
That basically we all have an idea about each other, certainly in Belize City as it is in the district towns. So His Lordship quite rightly is mindful and concerned that this business of trying to conduct a trial in the media, by the media, or by parties who are representing persons, that will not be the modus in relation to the trial in his court. He made several observations, and he also indicated that he is of the view that he will invite media representatives to sit in so that an agreed protocol as to what he expects from the media in regards to their responsibility to report only on the facts and only on the evidence of a trial, the way it is to be done, the proper way it is to be done.
The Laddie Memorial Park was inaugurated today on a plot of beachfront property in Placencia Village, where Laddie Gillett was shot and killed 1 year ago. Laddie's relatives and friends gathered at the park for a brief ceremony in his memory. Musicians Stig the Artist and Kylan Ely performed at the event, and family members shared the significance of the park to Laddie's memory. Those in attendance also participated in a Finish Laddie's Run, a quarter-mile run from the Laddie Memorial Park to Laddie's intended destination on the night of his killing. Here's a brief clip from today's ceremony in Placencia, courtesy the Laddie Gillett Foundation.
We wanted to have something that would memorialize his personality, his spirit, his vigor. So we came up with these various elements. Of course, his love of football. You see his football there, perched atop the cairn, which is made out of all polished stones from the riverbanks which he grew up on. Now, that is where he fell, so that actually covers his blood. The other things that we thought about were the bench, because we wanted somewhere where people could gather, young, old, anyone who just wanted to get together, have a little, talk or whatever, find a little respite. And so we came up with this design, and we're very, very happy with the way it closed. We feel that it's a very youthful look, and that it really does talk to the youthful personality that he was, because he never stopped moving. So this kind of looks to us a little bit like our Laddie. Then we thought, well, what else do we do to create new life? So, a garden. So we planted a garden because that is new life, new energy, and we hope that this space now will not be a space of sorrow.
22-year-old Frederick Rodriguez, a resident of Riverside Street, Banca Viejo town, has been arrested and charged with possession of a controlled drug with intent to supply. That's after he was busted during a special operation being conducted by police along the banks of the Mopan River from the San Jose Socots ferry to Banca Viejo town. As a result, the officers executed a search warrant at the home of Rodriguez, where nothing incriminating was discovered. He was then escorted to an area where he was seen placing an object. A search yielded a clear bottle containing 18 small transparent tubes with suspected cocaine amounting to 12 grams. Also in the vicinity of the Mopan River on Riverside Street, Benca Viejo, police discovered a 9mm pistol containing a magazine with 15 Luker brand 9mm rounds of ammunition. No one was in the area at the time, and as a result, the firearm and ammunition were sealed, labeled, and deposited as found property. After the break, an employment recruitment drive for 200 new workers. But first, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
I'm on my way to Benny's, where I can get what I need and save some money. After 75 years in the business, nobody do it like Benny's. Hello, how may I help you? Anything you need, we got you. Whether it tools or tiles, lights and fans, we are serving with a smile. Genuine plumbing and electric supply, quality construction supply, heating and air condition, 100% Belizean. Benny's, celebrating 75 years. Quality and savings, quality and savings. Benny's, celebrating 75 years. Quality and savings, quality and savings. Benny's, celebrating 75 years. Quality and savings, quality and savings.
Go back to school and beyond when you upgrade your smartphone or tablet to a Samsung. The affordable line of high-tech devices are the perfect back-to-school tool that you can fit in the palm of your hands. Whether you're shopping for a starter phone or a high-end device, the Galaxy A series has an option to fit your needs. The awesome lineup includes the A03, A12, A13, A22, A23, A33, and Tab A7 LTE and A7 Lite. So unlock these offers and get your 1-year warranty only when you shop at authorized Samsung resellers countrywide, including Cellular World, Digi, Divari, Odette's Home Center, and Westtrack from July 4th to July 31st.
Yo, this is Super G the General, and I want to invite you all to the
Belize International Music and Food Festival.
That will be held for 2 nights, July 30th
and the 31st at Sakachispas Field. It's for the insane.
As you left my yard, tell me why you come back.
You know, it's yours truly, King Room Official.
It's your boy Stick the Artist.
My name is Clayton Williams.
It's your boy Dando.
Hi, my name is Deja.
TLC, baby. Blessings, everybody. This is Original Coffee inviting you out to the Belize International Music and Food Festival in San Pedro. There will be me, many other artists. There will be enough music, enough food. So come out, enjoy yourself.
The 2022 Population and Housing Census is here, and our census staff will visit your home over the next 10 weeks. You may ask yourself, what can I expect when my household is visited? Well, data for the census will be collected in 2 parts. First, the interviewers will list all the buildings in their area of work and record some key characteristics of the building. For example, they will capture whether the building is a dwelling unit, a business, or an institution. They may ask you to confirm some information about the building when in doubt. The second part involves collecting information about each household, such as the number of persons living in the household, the type of dwelling they live in, and access to essential services. Information will also be collected about each household member, including newborns and the elderly. Remember, the data from the census is essential to make informed decisions on policies that could help improve your community. So when we knock on your door or holler at your gate, tell us to count me in. The Statistical Institute of Belize, providing Belize with quality, objective, and timely information.
KTV.
Vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to smart code 5885. Here are this week's contestants.
He's crazy for believing that I'll never leave the ground. I'm staying with you, laughing like children, living like lovers.
Into the unknown, into the unknown.
And focus on things that are gonna make us laugh. Take me as I am.
I'm unstoppable. I'm a Porsche with no brakes. I'm invincible.
Those chills that I knew, they were nothing without you.
Thinking out loud that maybe we found love right where we are.
Round and around and around and around we go. No.
Yo te amo. Yo te amo. Sobre todas las cosas del mundo.
Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home.
Call me, take me deeper than my feet could ever wander.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday live only on 5.
Today at the Edward P. York High School, a multi-million-dollar agreement was signed between the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology and Digi for the expansion of Wi-Fi to approximately 200 schools across the country, particularly institutions in rural communities. The idea is to bridge the digital divide in the country and for these children to be connected when at schools, as well as for better access for teachers. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
The future of education, as you all will appreciate, is technology. We have to embrace it. There is a serious crisis in our country in terms of the digital divide, especially in our rural communities where our students do not have access, our young people do not have access to reliable, adequate internet services. So this is a start of addressing that very, very serious problem.
It is with that in mind that the Ministry of Education is joining forces with Digi for a Wi-Fi expansion project for schools across the country. It is a human and economic development issue that needs technological investments. Education Minister Francis Fonseca says that the revolutionary project is costing approximately $2.5 million.
Well, this initial phase will cost us around $2.5 million. This initial phase, around 200 schools will be affected, but we're really fast tracking it. We're trying to make sure that between now and December, we deal with these 200 schools. And one of the issues, as I mentioned, was, listen, we have a lot of schools we talk about being connected. But when you go to the school, you find out that it's the principal's office that has internet, or the teacher's lounge or teacher's room, or the computer lab has internet. But the classrooms don't have internet. The campus doesn't have internet. And we want a Belize and an education system where the students have access to the internet wherever they are on campus, wherever they are at school. In their classrooms, of course, it has to be that we have access to internet in the classrooms, but also on campus. So that's the whole objective behind this project.
40% of the schools are from the urban setting, while majority, 60%, are primarily in rural communities. Aside from Digi, the Ministries of E-Governance and Finance are involved in seeing the project through to fruition.
This is part of our digitalization plan, and it is important for us to bring technology to all of the country, especially to our schools, and so this is an important step for us.
To elevate
both teaching by our teachers and learning by our students in order to empower them and enable real opportunities for a better future in these challenging times.
Our national telecom, Digi, continues to offer far more than traditional telecommunications services. Today, we witness another momentous occasion in the history of Digi, made possible by a shared vision under Plan Belize, the Government of Belize, and the Ministry of Education to enhance the quality of educational services and the education sector of our country. With much excitement, we celebrate the launch of Connect Ed, in other words, Connect Education, a Digi Wi-Fi expansion project for schools in Belize in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science, and Technology.
CEO in the Ministry of Education, Diane Mejia, says that Connect Ed is the culmination of months of sustained effort and negotiations.
A lot of thinking, a lot of planning, a lot of trying to figure out really, how do we move forward? Minister Fonseca very clearly laid out to you the position of our schools in the country. And so we really made an effort to try to see how we could work together to come up with a solution. And where we are today is a far cry from where we were months ago.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
The Labor Department is hosting an employment recruitment drive at the IT-VET compound in Belize City from July 18th to the 20th. The department is looking for 200 job seekers to match with potential employers. Over the course of the 3 days, participants will be receiving training in areas such as customer service, work ethics, and code of conduct in the workplace. Vernon Avila, an employment officer at the Labor Department, gave further details during an appearance on Open Your Eyes this morning.
The type of training that we offer at the Labor Department will be areas such as skills, how to identify one's skills, employment goals, customer service settings. Also will cover work ethics, code of conducts, and on this 3 days event that will take place on the IT-VET, which will be from 8:30 to 4 p.m. We will have stakeholders such as Social Security, so people can know their claims, their deduction.
Yes.
Okay. The call center that will be involved will be Globalcom, also Globalcom, Radical, Transparent BPO. So it's like a wide pool of market that we want to reach out, and like you mentioned, it's 200 job seekers.
Yes.
So on the 3rd day, we will actually certify them with a certificate. So they will have that knowledge and that mindset. So it's for people new and existing who want to fine-tune their CV.
A couple months ago, a teacher from St. Luke Primary School took to Facebook to share the frustration and humiliation that she was enduring at the school, allegedly at the hands of 3 administrative officers. When Joanne Isigeri went live on video to share her experience, it captured the attention of thousands of Belizeans who were shocked at what she said. It also prompted those at the Ministry of Education to investigate the allegations. Today, the media got a chance to ask CEO at that ministry, Diane Mejia, for an update.
We have to remain mindful of perspectives all around. One of the realities of being a teacher, and every teacher knows this, is that you can't always do what you want when you want, right? We have to continue to support teachers at all levels in all ways. And I think depending on the perspective that you have, we know that we want to continue to hold managements accountable where we can for supporting teachers. So if you are a teacher, if I need to really break this down here, if you're a teacher and you need to pee, you may not be able, you're the only teacher in the classroom with your 20 students. You may not be able to leave at that minute. This is one of our teacher realities, right? So we need our management and our administrations to have something in place to say, I can text you and say, I need a bathroom break, and somebody's gonna come and relieve me. This is our reality as teachers, because, and any teacher knows this. This is what happens to you, right? It's not like being in an office where you can just quit when you're ready.
When we return, a national investment policy and strategy is rolled out. But first, here's the weather forecast with data from the Belize Met Service.
Applying for a Social Security sickness benefit? Here's what you need to know. A complete claims package include 1. Sickness claim form fully completed by the claimant and medical doctor. 2. Salaries record form completed by the employer or HR representative. 3. Proof of bank account such as bank book, online banking, or statement displaying your name and account number. To submit via email, you need to take a clear photo or scan of the documents and email to claims@socialsecurity.org.bz. Be sure to include your full name, social security number, and benefit type in the subject line of the email. Deadline to submit is 14 days from your first day of illness. All forms are available on the website at www.socialsecurity.org.bz. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
Ouch.
I tell you no move.
Man, you really can't get a mannequin for this, man? Really?
Well, son, if I never lend you the $2,000 to buy the kids' computer and the book, I may have the money for buy my mannequin.
It's definitely better to borrow from the bank than from your friends or relatives. This way, all you owe is money.
Would you like me to turn around?
That would be good. Turn on, turn on, turn on.
Take advantage of the back-to-school promotion currently being offered by the Belize Bank.
Compostable plastics. To understand what a compostable plastic is, we need to know that composting is a natural way to recycle decomposed organic material like oranges or banana peels. So, a compostable plastic is similar to the banana peel in the sense that it also undergoes biological decomposition in a compost site and doesn't leave any toxic residue. In fact, it breaks down into carbon dioxide, water, inorganic compounds, and biomass at a similar rate of compostable materials. This is great because once properly disposed of, compostable plastic food packaging would be broken down in a manner much kinder to the environment compared to plastics. The recycled materials would return to earth quickly and safely as soil when disposed of in the right environmental conditions and temperatures. It's important to note that for decomposition to occur, all compostable products must reach a sanitary landfill where there is proper management of the waste through disposal and treatment. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
This morning at the Biltmore Hotel, government officials and their counterparts from the Belize Trade and Investment Development Service, Beltrade, the Economic Development Council, the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, as well as their counterparts in the private sector attended the launch of the Belize National Investment Policy and Strategy. NIPS, as it is called, will serve as an underlying set of ideas to guide domestic and foreign investments. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
Approved by the Briceño administration in May, the Belize National Investment Policy and Strategy seeks to establish a public framework to steer domestic and foreign investments. The goal is to establish with greater certainty and predictability the general direction towards economic development and how citizens can participate in and benefit from this process through investments.
This investment policy focuses on 9 key policy pillars to improve the business climate. These targeted pillars contain policy goals and include important steps, such as the development of an integrated national strategy for promoting investment through a single investment window. This single investment window will contribute to the coordination and greater access to the investment process. To accomplish this, we are revising the existing regulatory framework, the taxation system, and judicial system to make it more investment friendly.
Strengthening the rule of law, enhancing and developing the national regulatory frameworks to foster national and international investment, as well as a dynamic and well-functioning business sector.
What the NIPS really does is that while we've said that there are reforms underway, what needs to happen is that we need to have everything synchronized. We have to have things complementing each other, different services complementing each other and speaking to one another, in order to provide the most optimal turnaround time possible. Still within, following the required rules or laws, because they have their place, certainly, in terms of due diligence, in terms of environmental considerations, but there are better ways in which the relevant agencies can deliver.
Government needs to facilitate access to investment financing on appropriate terms and foster the development of a more efficient investor-friendly financial system for all investors, particularly domestic ones.
Within the diagnostic of the NIPS, it was identified, especially through the review of the To-Do Business Report of the World Bank, that access to financing was one of the biggest weaknesses within the country. And by looking at that, I think the strategy looked at several interventions. There is a specific pillar that deals with access to financing. And within that pillar, one of the actions includes the development of the collateral registry and secured transaction, which will impact significantly the MSMEs, and also the establishment of the credit bureau. We also have other initiatives. For example, recently where the PM and the CEO were in the European Union, where they had a meeting with the European Investment Bank. And one of the strategies, one of the actions is actually to have a closer linkage between DFC and the National Bank with bilateral donors and multilateral donors, so as to ensure that we get financing that is necessary for continued development.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
The Energy Unit within the Ministry of Public Utilities, Energy Logistics and E-Governance is embarking on an initiative to improve policies that can support the economy as well as the environment. To do so, it has been engaging organizations through the Belize National Energy Use Survey 2022. The data will assist with updating the energy policy and for creating an energy plan for the country. Minister of Energy, Michelle Shabat, spoke briefly about this process.
As you know, we're looking at renewable energy. We're looking, especially with the high cost of fuel, we're looking at ways of how we can bring electricity to this country at cheaper rates. And so we're hoping that this survey will help us to point to that way.
Does the high fuel prices affect the way how your ministry is able to service the population?
Well, I don't know that it directly affects us, but I think it affects the entire country and the entire economy.
He was awarded a contract as an information consultant for the Brissenu administration, working out of the government press office, a post that has been questioned as to the need and justification for the salary. But today, when he was asked about it, Cabinet Secretary Stuart Leslie told reporters that the job offered the former social activist and journalist Giovanni Brackett was a good decision. In fact, Leslie said he was surprised that others within the media had questions about the post. Leslie defended Brackett's job and explained how he feels his role in the government is important.
I think that Giovanni brings a wealth of talents to this job. If you listen to speeches that were given by people like Minister Musa, the Prime Minister, Minister Fonseca, you will hear about this concept that we're trying to do as this whole of government approach to key issues, especially some of the social issues. I think Giovanni is very qualified and very experienced through his advocacy work in working with some of these social issues. Now, the press office can't handle everything. There have to be certain consultancies that the press office will handle, consultancies that deal with some of these social issues. I can tell you for a fact, Giovanni reports to me as well as to others that he does a lot of groundwork dealing with at-risk youth, with mothers who have families who have suffered death because of their sons being murdered and so on. In fact, Giovanni sits on the board of directors in the Ministry of Human Development, I think, on women's issues. So he has been working on those things quietly, not making a lot of noise. But if this government is going to be a government that listens, then we have to hear what other people out there are saying, not just the leaders and the political people that work every day together.
Leslie made reference to other activists who went on to work with previous governments, such as Nuri Muhammad and Ambassador James Murphy. Leslie shared his view that we need to develop another generation of those types of people. And it was with this in mind that the government reached out to Brackett and offered him the job. And about the $3,500 monthly salary. This was how Leslie justified that.
Now, with respect to the salary, guys, listen. This is a 2-year consultancy contract. Nobody knows what will happen at the end of 2 years. Giovanni will not get any massive, he doesn't have any benefits that he can look forward to after that or any of those things. And yes, there are public officers who may say, well, we earn less. But those established public officers can look forward to pensions and they can look forward to gratuities and other things that Mr. Brackett will not be able to look forward to. And so, I support this initiative by the Prime Minister, the Office of the Prime Minister, to work with Giovanni, and I hope that good things will come from it. In fact, I believe it's already bearing good fruit. Some of the deliverables that I certainly would like to see is for him to be able to tell us how people out there are feeling about and why people are reacting. These are some tough times. We have people going through some heartaches.
Just ahead, Garifuna musician Emilia Thomas prepares for Garifuna Collective European Tour.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
When all hope is lost and the days ahead look grim, we find ourselves looking for someone to shake things up, rescue us, and point us in the right direction. What if the one we've been waiting for has been here all along? Join us for our new series, Troublemaker, as we learn about a man who wasn't afraid to stand up for what's right to make this world a better place.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
And Messi is standing over this. Messi.
Great entertainment stays with you, and we bring you great entertainment. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
Hello Ecash user, the Ecash app is now available in Spanish. Changing the language in your Ecash app from English to Spanish is quick and easy. Let me walk you through the steps. First, open your Ecash app. Enter your PIN. Tap the More icon at the bottom of your screen. Choose Security. Select Language. Tap on Spanish. Then re-enter your PIN. And that's it. Your Ecash app is now in Spanish, and you can continue to enjoy your Ecash digital wallet. Belize Bank's Ecash app makes life easier.
Belizean musician 32-year-old Emilio Thomas has been performing across the world for the better part of the last decade with the Garifuna collective. During this time, he has been able to hone his musical skills, which he began developing as a child growing up in Dangriga. Thomas has since acquired experience and knowledge that sets him apart both on stage and off stage in the promotion of culture and the development of up-and-coming artists. News 5's Paul Lopez spoke with this Belizean talent via Zoom today as he prepared to take the world stage once again with the Garifuna collective in their upcoming European tour.
He is known as Sasamo on stage, a name that translates to wise, skillful, and masterful. Emilio Thomas is the youngest member of the Garifuna collective. His contributions to the musical landscape embody the Belizean experience.
My responsibility on the band is a guitar player and a vocalist. And depending on the song, you would see me on the segunda drum, the bass drum, as well as the clave and the maraca.
His journey has been one of determination and cultural promotion. While growing up in Dangriga, the cultural capital of Belize, Thomas developed a strong appreciation for drumming.
I grew up listening to old Garifuna Parana music mostly. And there was this one time this guy, he's of Garifuna descent, came to visit Dangriga in the Lakeland area. And he saw me playing on the streets. So he asked me if I knew this guy, Juni Aranda. And I said yes. And he wants to know if I can go and get him. And he promised me $1 or $2, I think. And so I ran to the house and I gave the message to the wife of Juni Aranda. and she said she would get him ready to go and meet him at this particular place at the Lakeland Recreation Center. And so I went back and I ran back to him and I told him that he will be on his way, exactly what I was told. And I pretended like I forgot about the money that he had promised, because I don't know how to ask people for money at this time. So he told me that a promise is a promise, and he gave me the $2 or whatever it was. And I used to follow Junior Aranda around because he always had his guitar. He was a Garifuna parandero, and he used to serenade families and so with his guitar. And that's how I was inspired to become a Garifuna musician.
As a high school student, he crossed paths with Garifuna musicians Adrian the Doc Martinez and Mark Pasquale. They were both teachers at Ecumenical High School in Dangriga. These men were instrumental in inspiring a young Thomas to take his musical skills to the next level. The budding artist would go on to take on a high school teaching job, but he soon realized that his true calling was for the promotion of his heritage through music on the world stage. He left the classroom and began touring as a parandero in Belize, Guatemala, and Honduras. In 2014, the Garifuna Collective invited Thomas to join them on stage for the Festival del Caribe in Mexico.
When I was convinced to go on the biggest tour in the Garifuna Collective, with the Garifuna Collective in 2014, the only words that made sense to me were, you want to have a successful solo career, the Garifuna Collective is the best vehicle for you to get to that destination. And those words are still with me up to this day.
Thomas is now preparing to tour Europe starting 2 weeks from today with the Garifuna Collective. The tour will take them to the World of Music, Arts and Dance Festival at the Charlton Park House Estate, England, as well as the Jazz Cafe London.
I believe that every tour that we have is a big opportunity, and I will tell you why. Whenever an artist has a show, that is called a marketing opportunity, because there will be people there who have never heard your music, and then you'll get the opportunity to persuade people to follow you and to share your music. So the Garifuna Collective, like for example, we have to go to the UK also during this tour. We're going to check. We start off at the Czech Republic, a country in Europe, and then we go on to Brussels. We play at there in Belgium. Then we move to the UK for almost a week. We go and play at the Jazz Cafe, which is a concert venue, and WOMAD. WOMAD stands for World of Music, Arts and Dance. And WOMAD is a big deal. So we are one of the acts there at WOMAD, and we have a whole bunch of stuff to do in France this year. So we have workshops as well that we will be facilitating as a band.
Emilia Thomas is also a music consultant. Over the years, he has acquired a vast amount of knowledge on various fields in the industry. Expertise he now invests in up-and-coming artists, both locally and internationally through workshops. And if being a world-class musician and a consultant is not enough, Thomas is endeavoring to learn the intricacies of economics and the real estate industry through online courses.
I am doing self-studies. There are certain courses I would take online. Some courses are very good, but I will determine if it's very good. And some courses I pay for, depending on what I see in the description and then along the way while taking the courses. However, there are so many, YouTube and the internet, we live in the information age. And even though Belize's education is not based on that, we have the opportunity to learn much on the internet. And that's the kind of exposure that you can get in order to become a big deal in whatever skill set or area you are venturing in. If I was told that I could have bought a book and learned all of this, I would have disregarded college.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.